For step one, we're going to be doing some dots here today. So let's do this. Make sure you guys are ready to go here. But you're going to take your pencil and you're going to come up to this corner up here. You're going to come in about an inch or two. So about right in there. Doesn't have to be precise or exact, but you're going to put a dot right here. Okay? You're going to do that on the other side by coming in just a little bit, about that same distance. And you're going to put a dot right here. Come down to the bottom, about the same distance, put a dot. And then over here as well, you're going to put a little dot. Okay. Next, we're going to take your longer ruler here, and we're going to connect those dots. So you line them up, make sure it's lined up here and here, press it down and hold it, and then you're going to start up here and then pull it down to make your first line, diagonal. And then you're going to come on this other side. I like to turn my paper here, but you're going to turn it and then you're going to make the other diagonal line, and it should make an X. And it should look like that. After that, you might notice where they intersect. I'm going to put a little dot in the middle there, just so I know that's the middle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and draw a line that goes through that middle line, going straight across here. Okay? And that's the first part of the project. All right, for part two now, we're going to do some block or bubble letters, and you're going to write your name in the middle here. So here was a finished product that I was working on. So the hardest thing is to get it to fit equally. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters in my last name. I noticed that I got a little bit crunched over here. So I think on this next one I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the middle one, which is the E. I'm going to put it in the middle first. Okay? So I'm going to be doing block letters. So I'm going to start off with an E, and I'm going to do it pretty large, about this big in the middle. And it's going to go right on top of all these other lines. So it's going to kind of blend in a little bit. Okay? So I know I got an E there. I got the S, K, Y over here. So I'm going to do an S. Make sure you leave a gap in between your letters. K and Y. Now I'm just doing the single letters. I'm not making them block quite yet. I'll do that here in a little bit. And then I have to fit V-O-L on this side. And this should be a little bit easier here. V-O-L. The next thing I'm going to do is make these letters now into block. So I'm actually going to start with a pencil first, and then I'll go over everything with Sharpie, and then I'll do some erasing for these middle lines. The next thing I want you guys to do is draw some type of shape inside each one of these little areas. That'll give us more room to work with and do a lot more with our complementary colors. So you could do like a circle. You could do a star. Stars are kind of fun to do. You could do diamonds, hearts. Could repeat some shapes. So maybe I'll do another diamond over here, and then maybe another star over here. Once you have everything drawn here, we're going to take a Sharpie marker and we're going to go around all the lines. The only lines that you do not want to go over are the ones inside here, okay? Because then we'll do some little erasing here. But let me go ahead and start this off. For the next part, you're going to take a nice big eraser here, and you're just going to kind of lightly go over top, and you want to get rid of all those pencil lines. Now comes the color part. Before we do the color, we need to do this. We need to label things so we don't do the wrong colors. So if you can see this one right here, already finished. We're going to do a color wheel around. Okay, so then we're going to flip it and do the complement as well. So you're going to have two different colors going on. So what I want you guys to do now is once you're to this point, you're going to label it. So I'm going to start up here with your first shape. So let's start off by putting a G, just really lightly. Okay, you're going to put it inside of there and a G here. Okay. If we move over to this section here, we're going to do this, the inside stuff, everything's in here. We're going to do that blue. So we're going to do blue. Okay, so these will be blues over here. Put a lot of B's in there. Over here, we're going to get into purple. So we put P's in all of those sections. Down here, we're going to do red. So we're going to do red. So R. Okay, not a lot going on there. Over here, we're going to do orange. So we're going to put some O's wherever we're going to do orange. Up in this area here, I'm going to do Y for yellows. And I think I have all the areas. What you might want to do is check a little bit. So like here I missed a few, so I'm going to come back. Those are B's. This is a Y. So little areas that split it up. Another O here, and R's, and then a P right here. In the background area, you're going to label, so this whole area behind it, we're going to do this. So I'm going to do, kind of up here, I'm going to do an R, O, Y for yellow, G for green, B for blue, P for purple, and there we go. So we have it all labeled. What we're going to be doing is we're going to use crayon for all the letters and shapes, and we're going to use paints in the background. All right, for the final step now, we get to add some paints to the background. So we're going to be using complementary colors. So I already labeled mine. So I'm going to do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple over here. Okay, so when you do it, we're going to use these types of paints here. Make sure you use the right ones because there's two different shades of red and some of the other colors like the blue too. The blue might be okay to use both, but I kind of like the darker blue here. So if I'm going to do blue, I'm going to start down here. I labeled it B. I'm going to try to do the background space here, also called the negative area, just in these little areas here. So this little slice here, I'm going to paint it in. So I'll kind of show you on this one. Okay. So you can kind of go in a little bit lighter, or you can go darker if you want. Now the nice thing about this is the crayon, if you did a nice job coloring it, will push away the paints. So it's really hard to paint on top of crayon because it's made of wax. So you can just kind of go around there and do a nice careful job while you do that. All right, guys, and there you go. I just finished up with my painting here, making sure that I put it on the drying rack and let that dry now. But I like how the colors turned out with the two different types of materials with your paints and then your crayons. If you do get a little bit on there, you can always use a paper towel to kind of wipe it off before it dries on there. All right, guys, can't wait to see how you do on your work today.